Hi, my lovelies, Woo here, and today on Somatic Navigation, I want to continue talking about what we've been talking about this week, and it is about false pride, shame, and guilt. And so, yesterday we talked a little bit about how you carry yourself or the muscles that are kind of linked to these things. So, this is connected to that crown chakra, so the top of your head, and it's connected to the collective consciousness, and it's connected to your community, other people in general. So if you're thinking about how you're holding your body and carrying your body in a way that that expresses how you're feeling. So for instance, if I have my head up too much, I am probably feeling pretty proud. I'm probably got my head up. I'm telling you, hey, like, look at me. Like, I've got something to say. Um, basically just kind of look at me. And I've got my head up. And I might not, it kind of also gives this feeling of like, hey, I might not even care about anything else except for me because I've got my head up. And whereas, like, if you have your head down, it's kind of telling people that you don't want to be seen. You're kind of trying to hide yourself a little bit, and with that, it's normally pride's normally your head up, guilt is normally head down, shame is head down, and those kind of guilt and shame kind of keep your head down. So they're kind of saying out to the world, by keeping your head down, that I don't want to be seen by other people, and I want to kind of fade into the background maybe a little bit, or something along those lines. And so when we're talking about like neck pain and things like that, and maybe it might hurt for you to have your head up, or it might hurt for you to put your head down or move it in a specific way. So thinking about all of that, like, oh, I do have neck pain and it is hard for me to put my head down. Maybe it's that maybe you're feeling a specific emotion that's tied to that. And so trying to feel into what kind of emotions when you keep your head down, or what's kind of preventing you, because that pain is there for a reason. Pain is like your body's signal for like, hey, something's wrong, like, please come fix me. And when you just mask it with pills or something like that, you're not really getting to the core of the issue. So if you're having pain all over your body, you might think about, what might be causing that. And not on an intellectual level where I'm saying, hey, search your brain to figure it out, or search the internet to figure it out. I'm saying, hey, listen into your body and try to figure out what's the first thing that comes up when you think about this. Like, oh, I've got pain all over my body. What is it when I close my eyes and I really feel into myself? What is it that really seems to come out with that? And so when we're talking about, again, with the shame, false pride, and guilt, we want to kind of think about what are the things that are keeping our head down, what are the things that are keeping our head up, or what are the things that is making it difficult to do something. So if I'm feeling into maybe some shame or some guilt, like having my head down, kind of a little bit of the example that I gave yesterday, but interesting, right now I feel the tension much differently. When I put my head down, I am actually feeling the muscles right here really start to tense up, and kind of like almost like close my throat a little bit. So I'm noticing that as I'm so now that I'm feeling into shame and guilt kind of stuff, I'm noticing that as I put my head down, that my throat now kind of wants to close up and it wants to restrict things. So maybe there's something that I need to work on, where I need to express myself better, or express myself more, and not be afraid to. So maybe for me, it's about feeling into why, when I put my head, what am I feeling shameful about? What am I feeling guilty about? That in a way that I'm not able to express myself in the way that I would like to. I'm not saying enough on these videos, where I feel like maybe I'm holding back a little bit on some of the knowledge that I have, because I'm worried about the people that are watching these might not understand where I'm coming from, because maybe I won't be able to explain it correctly. It might be that I have some, shame from like my childhood that I am tapping into at the moment, and it was something maybe before I could even speak. So maybe it was something that I was never really given the opportunity to communicate. Maybe it was something, something that I didn't really feel like at some point in my life I was able to communicate, is kind of the point that I'm making. And so now when I feel down into it, I do feel like it feels a little bit looser now that I've kind of said some of that stuff. But it didn't really seem to get to the heart of the matter, so it didn't really seem to change too much, other than the fact that now now it just doesn't seem to be as bad. It's still feeling like it's a little bit more tense on that right side, so maybe this has to do with my work. Maybe I'm not being truly expressive in my work, and I am feeling, this is the connection between the crown chakra and your throat chakra as well. So things that I want to communicate, but I'm worried about the public is going to not understand what I'm saying or what I'm doing, or they're going to think I'm weird. And kind of just getting to this place where I feel like it's okay to be weird. Like, it's okay for me to be, a shiny little bright star if I want to be, and express myself in different ways, and be able to not feel shame and guilt and things about it, and actually be proud, but not this false pride that that would be a little bit more on the negative side. Pride in an appropriate manner versus pride without caring, or maybe just showing that I'm proud but I'm not actually really proud. So that would be kind of the negative polarity that I'm talking about, versus like the pride of like, yeah, this is who I am and I'm expressing that, and I'm not going to feel shame about it because this is who I am and this is how I feel. And not that I don't care how other people think and how other people feel, like that's right for them. So I think as I'm talking through this a little bit, and I'm noticing as I put my head down, it's not as tight as it was before as I'm talking through all of this stuff. I'm still feeling it slightly more on that right side, on the inside, especially on this sternocleidomastoid. So that's basically this muscle that's right here in front. And I am noticing that it seems to be like relaxing as I'm talking more about this stuff. So that can be like another way of expressing yourself through like getting over the fear of expression, and what's really the cause of that fear. Is it because you were shamed as a child for expressing yourself in a specific way? Is it because you were shamed as an adult for expressing yourself in a certain way? And sometimes these things are different in the way that they, like it could be a stranger that said something to you, or it could have been like your best friend, and how you seem to internalize that will be different. So if I'm talking about how this connects to my crown chakra and how this connects to everyone, is that we all feel a little bit worried about what other people will think and what other people will say about us. So if we continue to be resilient, maybe the right word, in a way that is appropriate. So there's the things that like you should put up with, and things that you shouldn't put up with, and things that like you need to figure out what you need to stand up for and what you need to let go of. So in like this case that I'm talking about, feeling with movement, like I'm noticing again, it's getting much easier for me to be able to put my head down and to not feel like my voice is being cut off. So I feel like what I'm talking about right now is something that I've been holding on to. And so if this resonates with you, you might think about that as you're also putting your head down and noticing if that tightens the muscles in the front of your throat here. noticing that when you tighten the muscles on your back, how does, like on the back of your neck, how does that change things? And so basically what I'm noticing that as I put my head up more, there seems to be like a happy medium for my throat. Like if I put it up too much, it seems to be pretty open, but again, it's feeling a little bit more tight here in the center. Whereas if I have it like pretty much dead on and maybe even just a little high, it feels pretty relaxed and pretty normal, and like my throat feels, the muscles feel pretty engaged right now, but the feeling of tightness and restriction on my my throat feels a lot less. So that's kind of the things that I'm looking for when I'm trying to figure out what position my body wants to be in to release some things, or what do I need to think about, or what do I need to release like emotionally to get rid of this this tight muscle, this tight fascia, something that's keeping me stuck in a specific position. And so again, kind of noticing how when I move my neck, what things change, when I move my head up and down, what changes, and noticing the emotions that kind of like bubble up inside of me. Like, what am I noticing as I tilt my head this way? What am I noticing as I tilt my head this way? And just kind of feeling through your body and feeling what's coming up for you, and then dealing with that in a way that feels like it's respecting your body the most. So you want to honor your body by putting it in positions that it feels good, like this feels right. So it's kind of about getting, again, kind of getting your body into this position that's right for you, that's perfect for you, where it can relax and rest and be the most productive for you. And so kind of figuring out what your body likes and what it doesn't like is kind of like what we're working with right now. And the things that I like to teach you are, how does your body feel? And this is a lot of, I can give you things, but it's more about you figuring it out kind of for yourself with a little bit of guidance. Like I can just send you to a craniosacral therapist and they can help you work on all of this stuff. And that's great, and you should, because it's really helpful to get these like jump starts on things. But at the same time, like doing what you can throughout the day, throughout your week, throughout the month, throughout the year, that you do by yourself is also going to be very beneficial in you feeling good overall. So while having other people help you is great, you helping yourself helps the most. And when you're stuck on things, then that's when you really need to, find a craniosacral therapist and figure out what it is that they can help you with to help you get past that spot where you're stuck and where you can move forward in a way that feels right for you. And so I think that's about all I have time for today, and I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to seeing you guys again tomorrow. Again, you can watch all my videos on Somato Enlightenment on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.